Hey, good morning. I've got a little teapot here that I wanted to finish off. I made it yesterday and it just needs putting together. I don't know if we'll have the time, but let's go to the wheelhead and see how far we go. It's a small teapot, this one, and it's rapidly drying out, so I need to actually just get on with it. So I've already put it there on the wheelhead and centered up. So what I'm going to do is just trim it. Not a lot of excessive trimming, but basically bringing in the foot. When you bring in your feet and reduce the diameter, you have to bear in mind that when you do that, you are then going to have a pot that is going to be less stable. Notice that it's not quite on center. So what I want to do is just trim out the base here. Oop. Get them on center and then just sort of give him a bit of pressure. And he should stick. They don't always stick. I have to be honest about it. They don't always stick, but just keep nailing him down. There we are. He's moved again. Not much contact area, you see, so there is potential there for coming off the wheel. I've nearly finished this, just a little bit in there, it just needs doing. Right. Okay, now you'll see this is a bit of a strange teapot. It's got a dent in the side. That's because this one actually fell off on the floor. And no, it didn't really. Sorry, bad joke. Right. The lid is the next thing I have got to trim. So same thing. Center him, press him down. Oh, my head is not in the way. If my head gets in the way, shout. I like the lid to be very slightly domed, because that's feels right for me when it is. You have to sometimes just do things, you know. So they feel right. Well, what feels right for you may not necessarily feel right for me, but nevertheless there are certain, well, I believe there are anyway, certain guidelines as to what is beauty, you know, and what is harmony in a pot. So when you're trimming a lid like this, what are the things that we're considering? Well, the depth of the lid here for one. Okay. The other thing is the degree of what do we call it? Bow on the top here. What's the word?
With camber.
Chris, help me.
Camber.
What did I say earlier on? Yeah.
Bow.
Anyway, yeah, slightly bowed on the top there. Well, that's telling me this is too deep and the bow is not enough. So, and that's sort of that kind of knowledge really comes through a little bit having your eyes trained. Oops. You see how difficult it is. They don't always stick on. So I'm seeking to bow it a bit more on the top and also thereby reduce the depth in the side. Thing is, you see, we have to have our eyes trained. It's not just training our hands to perform tasks. We have to actually have an inner built-in sense of what is right and what is appropriate and what feels right in any given situation for any given pot. And that's the sort of thing that you don't acquire that kind of knowledge in 5 minutes. It takes a bit of time. So, and it's a continual learning process. There, now you see that has a little bit more of a bow. That is a little bit feels a bit better. This is a funny teapot. It's got a dent in the side because the handle is coming off there. Right, let's quickly. I'm racing against the clock maybe here. Let's see. I've got my spout here, which I've already thrown. Sorry, I didn't bring you in on this, but we have done this before. So when I get my spout, I then trim him a bit there. Then you have to hold the spout to the teapot. Okay, now I know from experience roughly where to cut that, and that's going to be cut approximately like through there, you see? Like that. D. That is going to be placed on there. So when you're doing teapots, there's a little bit of this kind of thing to do with the putting on the spout. When I've done that, I then dip it in the water and placing it dead opposite the place where the handle is going to be attached. Okay, now then I press it there like that, and that will leave a sort of kiss mark, if you like a lipstick mark. Could say. So put that there. Now, ooh, I've got to find something to bore some holes with. Where is my hole borer? My hole borer is too big. I've got this one, but this is actually a bit big. Just bear with me in a moment. I'll be back in 2 jiffies. Back in 2 jiffies. Sorry about that, folks. Don't seem to. I should have. Well, before I started doing this, I should have made sure I had all my tools. Never mind. I'm going to do it with this one, which is slightly bigger than I would have done. But so I'm going to. Yeah, ideally you want one that's a bit smaller than this, but. It'll be alright. We won't see it, will we? It'll be hidden. So, just carefully make some holes. Now you may say, oh, well, how many holes should I put? Well, depends really. These are kind of big, I won't need to put too many. Okay, so there we are. We put some holes now. Just keep that there a little bit moist there over that place where we're going to put the spout. This is slightly on the dry side, this teapot, but it's okay. Right, again, the spout that we're going to attach, just dip it in the water and offer up the spout to the teapot. Alright, now you just adjust it for height. What you want to do is bear in mind that this is going to be full of tea, so you want to make sure that the level where you cut it isn't going to be too low down, otherwise obviously the tea is just going to dribble out the end of the spout. So when you're happy with that, you then gently push that onto the teapot like that, and with your fingers, like I'm doing, you want to make a good join. That's why this bit needs to be soft enough so you can smear it, if you know what I mean, into the body of the teapot. And on the top side here, it's not always quite so easy to do that. Learn to use a bit of flesh on the side of your finger there to sort of make the attachment good and secure. We don't want any cracks there. We don't want the spout coming away from the teapot. Okay, so that's that. It doesn't hurt at this stage to, with a sponge, just go over that join there. Okay, like that. Now, I need to put a hole in the teapot, but I'm not going to do it with this thing because it's too big. I'll wait till I find my other one, which is somewhere lost. Now, what am I going to do now? I'm going to cut that spout. So where am I going to cut it? I need to cut it making sure that right there, make a little mark. Okay, I've made a mark there. You see where I'm going to cut it. Sometimes when I get down to cut these, I kind of get down a bit next to them. Cut across like that. Now, using this sometimes there's a bit of debate about teapot spouts and the angle that you cut them, and you should cut them a little bit down on one side because they, in the kiln, they do up. And I suppose they do. I never really find, I usually find I cut them too much at an angle, and I'm hoping that when they come out of the kiln they're going to be straight, but they never seem to be quite straight. They still seem to be down on one side, so maybe I've been cutting them too much, the angle, but it's only very, very, very slight. I wouldn't get too worked up about that. Okay. That's that. Now all that remains to be done, and I don't know, let's see if we've got some bit of clay here where I can very quickly, very, very quick because time is running away. I just want to just damp that a bit there, where that's going to go. I'm going to quickly pull a handle. This guy. So just going to pull down a small amount of clay off this lump, which okay, so pulling that down. Okay. I'll just put that here on the side. Lay that down there like that. That's the guy. Good. Ooh. Now, so let's just get this handle. Now it's not actually good to pull handles and apply them straight away. I tend to like to leave them to stiffen off a bit. So this handle is going to come out of there. So let's just score that a little bit there. I use my fingernail to do that. Okay, and a bit of water. Take the handle, apply the handle there, like that. Just make sure that the handle is opposite the spout. That is kind of important, obviously. So join that. While you're doing that, always make sure that you support the handle like I'm doing. Okay, never let the handle flop, or you will not. So there's the handle hanging. I'm going to now just pull that off the side of the teapot like that. Okay, and bend him over. Now this just needs to be right, so it's not. You see now why I've done that indentation there. So this is a handle that, because of the indentation, hasn't got to stick out too far. So that's that. And now on this end here, just going to do my usual finish like that. And don't fiddle with it after you've done that, okay? When you've done the fishtail on the end there, don't come back with a sponge and start dib dab dab with your fingers and all that, because you completely lose the freshness of the feel of the freshly worked clay, which we want to keep. So, and there, minus the little hole in the top, is that little teapot. Well, a bit of fun, and something you could have a go at maybe. Perhaps it would be a case, what one could do, with a little bit of clay, No, I won't do that. I'll complicate things for you. I don't want to do that. Okay, folks. Right. Swing the camera up. There she is. The little teapot. Hey, Simon Leach here saying, keep practicing. I'll see you.